Welcome, everyone. I'm Luann Fortune, and I'm on the faculty of the Mind-Body Medicine program at Saybrook University. And I welcome you tonight, along with my colleagues, to join our meditation circle. So we invite you to make yourself comfortable and do whatever you do to begin to bring yourself to the present moment. That might involve turning off your phone or closing a door here and there, or maybe even turning down the lights just a little bit. I'd like to open us with a quote that I've long been searching the page number for. It's attributed to many people, and in a great honor to Saybrook University, I found it in the book The Courage to Create by Rollo May. In the later part of his life and his writings. And the quote is, "Human freedom involves our capacity to pause between the stimulus and response. And in that pause, to choose the one response toward which we wish to throw our weight. The capacity to create ourselves based upon this freedom is inseparable from consciousness or self-awareness." So starting out that way, I invite you into the pause, the place of the pause. And perhaps, first of all, you want to be present in the space that you actually physically occupy. So you might look around you. You might notice what's behind you. You might notice what's above you. You might notice where your feet are planted, on the floor, or the ground, or the chair, or each other. And then you might notice that you're breathing. Taking a breath in and out. And now I invite you to notice that there are other people here too, in this two-dimensional universe that we're sharing tonight. And they're in their own physical space. And all together, we're breathing in and breathing out. And now, if it feels right for you, I invite you to let your eyes go closed or perhaps still on a single place and enter another dimension, the dimension of the inside of you. And if it's comfortable for you, following your breath in, and notice how it circulates in through your mouth, down through your trachea, filling your lungs. And you know it exchanges oxygen for carbon dioxide and then carries those molecules back out into the world. This amazing creation of breathing in, creating an in-breath, and breathing out. In the next few breaths, I invite you to come to presence, whatever that means for you. And for the time we're together, invite into your evening a space of pausing. And now I invite my colleague, Selene Vega. Dr. Vega, do you want to walk us through something now?
I'm not sure if walk is quite right, but we are going to move through it. You can stay right where you are, but I encourage you to make sure you have enough space just around you so you can stretch out a little bit, move into the space that's there. And we're going to begin by just feeling where we already are. We followed Luann to have a sense of ourselves in the environment that we are in. I like to come from that inner focus into our own occupation of the space that we're in. Just thinking about where the edges of your body are and where the air, the space around you begins. And in that space, you might begin to extend your spine in both directions, just having a sense of the length of that spine from down at the bottom, perhaps where it's placed in a chair or a ball or the floor, or if you're standing on your legs. Feeling that root of your spine as the root that you are growing the rest of your spine out of, as if you could lift each vertebra off of the one underneath it and extend up through your body. Because the spine isn't just along the back, it's inside of you. It's structurally holding you up, extending up through your neck, through your head, feeling the top of your head floating out of that spine, this long extended spine. And from that spine, the rest of your body is gently hanging. There's your bones and your muscles and your organs, all gently organized around that spine. I'm going to spend some time here exploring your body, not just imaginally, but actually bringing your awareness and your movement at the same time to different places. And we're going to start, if you're willing, with one hand. And just bringing your attention to one hand. Maybe it's resting somewhere, or maybe you want to lift it up off of where it's resting. And just see how your hand placed itself. Are the fingers apart or together, curled up? Your palms open or closed? And as you feel into that hand, and to explore what that hand can do. Fingers that can close up, curl up, open up, curl around, circle and spiral and explore. Your palms stretching, curling, just feeling what your hand can do. Certainly it spends a lot of time each day doing very specific things. But this is your chance to play, to see what your fingers would like to do, what would feel good to your hand, to wake up the muscles, cells, circulation in that hand. You may notice as you're exploring with that hand that your wrist has gotten involved. It almost can't help but be involved if your hand is moving. Begin to bring your focus into your wrist, the movement that your wrist can do. Your hand can come along for the ride now, but it's your wrist that's really moving you, taking you around, back, forth, in, out. I don't know whether your movements are large and expansive or whether they're very subtle. Just feeling some gentle movement there, but whatever you are doing with your wrist, you may notice that as your wrist moves, the muscles in your forearm have gotten involved. That's kind of how it works. The muscles in your forearm help your wrist to do what it's doing, but you can begin to let your focus move up your forearm now. Really feeling into those muscles and noticing as you explore your forearm that your elbow has gotten involved. Let your elbow be the focus here. Your arm can go along for the ride as your elbow curls itself around, opens and closes, circles in whatever ways elbows are capable of, never going past what feels right and comfortable to you. Noticing that as your elbow guides the movement here, your upper arm has gotten involved. Those muscles, biceps and triceps, have been helping you to explore. So begin to let that focus move up through your upper arm all the way to your shoulder. Let your shoulder be the guide now. Your arm just sort of flows along with whatever your shoulder is guiding you to do. Maybe it's coming forward and back. Maybe it's going around and around. Maybe it's coming up and going down. Just letting your shoulder have its way here. Feel what feels good as your shoulder gets its freedom to play. And as your shoulder is exploring, you might notice that you're involved all through your upper chest. Maybe you can shift that guidance from that shoulder all the way across your chest to the other shoulder. Let the other shoulder be the guide for a while. Exploring, circling, lifting, releasing. Just feeling what that shoulder would like to do in this moment. And letting that focus move its way down your arm now, down your forearm, or down your upper arm first. Bringing your elbow into play. Letting that elbow guide you a little bit. And feeling the focus move through your lower arm, your forearm, into your wrist. Now this wrist gets a chance to explore, to circle, to move forward and back and around, and notice how your hand gets involved. And now we're back to fingers on this hand now. Fingers and palms expanding, releasing, curling up, opening up. Just feeling all of what your hand would like to do. And let that focus travel again up your arm, through that elbow and shoulder, all the way up to your and neck. Seeing what would feel good there. It's just a very gentle movement. Maybe your head really wants to open up to feel your neck explore, and your face can play around with opening up, scrunching in, yawning, feeling your jaw, your cheeks, your forehead. And then moving the focus down through your neck, down into your torso. And here, if you haven't been noticing your breathing, is a good place to begin to bring your breathing into this. So your breath all by itself can be expanding and releasing, but you can play along with it, maybe opening your chest and curling it, shifting your ribs one way or the other, around in circles, and then moving the focus down your torso to the waist, hips, letting yourself maybe circle around or explore forward and back or side to side. Just feeling into your belly, lower back, feeling what would feel good, what would feel just right in this moment. Moving down into your hips and joints, down to your legs. Maybe we'll take both legs at the same time this time. Maybe you're able to shift from one side to the other, feeling what happens as your thighs explore, what your knees would like to do, maybe folding and unfolding, working your way down to ankles. Maybe the ankles can circle around. Maybe feet can point and flex. All up to you and your body and what feels good to you to stretch, open, or release. So we've got the whole thing open, awake. Take a few moments here to just see what your body wants. Maybe there's one place where that focus of energy wants to come back to and play around for a while. Maybe you can imagine that as a ball of light and energy that's moving its way through you. It travels from one place to another, enlivening, awakening, exploring, breathing. And then, however much or little you've been moving, let your circling, exploring, shifting, moving begin to slowly slow down, get smaller, find your way to not necessarily stillness, but a place of ease, a place where you can still be moving with your breath gently and easily, just allowing the movement that feels right for your body and your being in this moment. And with that, I will pass this on to my colleague, Dr. Cliff Smyth.
Thank you so much, Selene. So I invite you, let's begin by continuing this deepening of the sense of connection with our bodies. You might choose to sit or stand or lie. Either way, do it in a way that's comfortable for you and where you can be alert and have a sense of comfort and dignity. If you're sitting, you might sit forward on the chair, feel your feet on the floor, feel the sits bones on the chair. Or you might choose to sit back and move your pelvis back in the chair and take some support from the back and the arms of the chair. If you're lying, you might have your knees bent and your feet standing to help you with alertness. If you're standing, you might allow that gentle sway of the body that keeps you balanced and upright. And make any little movements you need to make, you want to make yourself more comfortable and more gently alert. And dropping in on the sense of the body and the breathing in the body. Sensing your legs and feet, pelvis and chest, arms, neck, and head that have been awakened by this movement. Feeling into wherever it feels comfortable and anywhere that would benefit from some kind attention. Filling the body with generous, welcoming attention and awareness. Inviting also now a sense of the pull of gravity on your body. And feeling for now how you shape and organize your body. And again, you might make some gentle movements to be more comfortable. How do you shape and organize your body to feel comfortable and supported in that feel, in that field, in that direction of pull? And gravity is one of the many things that connects us. Each of us is individually drawn toward the center of the earth. You might pause and get a sense of that steady pull, connecting you and connecting everyone here and everyone on earth towards the center of the earth, this earth that we share. And as we respond to that gentle pull, we get the sense of how we support ourselves, move ourselves. The connection to the earth, the connection into the body. And then dropping in on a sense of the breathing in the body. What movements of breathing are there in your abdomen, all around the abdomen, as the diaphragm descends as you breathe in, but without any extra work or effort, feeling the abdomen in front and the waist on either side, maybe even into the area of the lower back, perhaps down into the pelvis and the sacrum, the pelvic floor, even the thighs, sensing the breathing in that lower breathing space, sensing the movements with breathing out and with breathing in. And then there's the sensing of the ribs. They move as you breathe. The lower ribs widen and lift a little, the chest expands some. Sensing the middle and upper parts of your chest all around, the front, the sides of your chest, and the back between the shoulder blades. Letting the breath, direct your attention into your chest. And perhaps the attention also influences the movement of breathing. The movements of breathing in the chest with breathing out and breathing in again. And there's also the air, the physical air coming and going at your nostrils or your mouth, both, or through your throat. What sensations are there of this physical exchange of the air with the world? The air we all depend on, and like gravity, also connects all of us. Inviting you to sense the coming and going of the air. The air that's naturally filtered and renewed by the oceans and the trees. Sensing breathing in the body and the air coming and going with its own rhythm. Its own ebb and flow. And inviting a sense of calm and ease as you sit here, or lie here, or stand here breathing. Inviting you to direct feelings of well-being, however you imagine that, to yourself. Bathing your body, your breathing with awareness and feelings of well-being, of care and compassion. Connecting with those feelings, connecting with your body and breathing. And of course, the mind may wander, the body may sense other things, feelings and moods might arise. And just gently inviting that connection to the sense of the body, the sense of care. And then staying with this sense of the body and breathing to whatever extent possible. And I invite you to reflect just for a few moments about this sense of connection with the world, with other people and beings in the world. It seems like the global pandemic has led many of us to reflect more on our interconnection with others, even as the ways we have connected has been changed or even limited. I remember traveling down to the Saybrook residential conferences in Monterey and seeing the farm workers in the fields harvesting the vegetables that ended up in the delicious meals that we shared together at the conference. The rich brown soil of the coastal plain, fed by rains, the water taken up into clouds from the Pacific Ocean right there, feeding the earth and the farms and us. The pandemic has brought forward for many of us the importance of these often invisible connections, how we're supported by people like the workers who bring us food. Inviting you to appreciate the work that they've done to help keep us fed and safe. How many people have met our needs in these times. And then there are the scientists and researchers and research volunteers and so many others who have been part of bringing to us the means to be in more direct contact with each other again. All the people who've worked to protect us over the last year, from family members to internet technicians to all the healthcare people. Appreciating what they've done to keep us safe and healthy as possible. And now as more safe, direct contact with others comes into view, maybe closer, maybe more distant, we might reflect on how we want to be with others. What have we learned from the physical distancing and these other forms of connecting that we've created, that we've made in the last year? Are the things that we want to bring into the future from what we've learned about connecting with each other in these times? Inviting calm and ease as you sit there or lie or stand there, breathing. Directing any feelings of well-being, however you imagine that, to yourself and also to others. Any particular people or groups you want to include in a sense of well-being. And slowly coming back again to being present to the sensations in your body, sensations of sitting, the experience of breathing. Slowly sensing again that you are in this physical space that you're in. And slowly coming back, if you've let your eyes closed, I invite you, if you wish to let them open, and slowly coming back to connecting with this group here, sharing this virtual space, one of the miracles of the last year, that we've been able to connect in these ways. And maybe we could see each other's images. As you're ready, And I invite you. So I actually would invite maybe to show everybody's images and just invite anybody who cares to share any appreciations of connections they've felt in the last year, connections that have supported them. If anybody would care to unmute. I'll offer an appreciation for the people who gave me the vaccine the other day, who had this beautifully organized tent, hundreds of people making sure that I got my first vaccine. It takes more than a village. Is anybody else? You're welcome to unmute yourself and share any appreciations for connections that have supported you in this last year. Maybe you should pause the recording, Luann.
I'd like to share.
Thank you so much, Cliff. So yeah, we'll continue this journey. And I invite you to find a place, maybe resituating your body so that you can feel even more comfortable as we make a slight transition. And we'll be taking this journey now into our imagination and going into a place that feels safe and comfortable. So this can be especially wonderful when we're feeling stressed or unsafe or overwhelmed. And so different parts of this might grab your attention at different times, and feel free to change anything that doesn't suit you. And your unconscious mind will probably do that for you anyways. So you don't need to pay perfect attention here. So you might just find yourself drifting in and out, and that's perfectly okay. So just allowing your body here to be just that bit more relaxed, finding a nice place where you can feel supported. So maybe it's where you're sitting, or perhaps you'd like to take a more reclined position. Beginning to allow, or continuing to allow, your muscles to relax even more deeply as we bring our attention back into the breath. So once again, coming back into that anchor, breathing in fully, feeling the belly rise, chest expanding, and allowing your exhale to be complete. Really breathing out fully. As you breathe in, you can silently say to yourself, peace. As you breathe out, silently saying, clarity. Breathing in peace and out clarity. And we'll begin this journey at the top of our head. So bringing that awareness to the very top of the head. Allowing the awareness to rest here. And then gently dropping that awareness down into the muscles of the face. Dropping the corners of the eyes, releasing the jaw. Allowing the head and the face to relax. Allowing those muscles in the neck and the shoulders to drop and relax. Shoulders falling away from the ears. Or if you're lying on a surface, feeling the shoulders melt into the surface beneath. Following this flow of relaxation as it travels all the way down the shoulders, into the arms, all the way to the hands, and to the very tips of the fingers. And then traveling back up the arms into the chest. Inhaling here, feeling that chest expand, receiving the inhalation. And the settling of the body as you exhale, soft and peaceful. Breathing in relaxation and peace and clarity into the muscles, down into the lower abdomen, the hips and the low back. Sinking a little bit deeper into the support of the chair or the floor or whatever is beneath your body. Flowing all the way down your legs to your feet and all the way to the toes. The soles of the feet relaxing. The way your feet might feel on a warm sand or a soft grass or a smooth river stone. As we feel and we breathe into the whole three-dimensional body, breathing in peace and out clarity. And now from this peaceful and relaxed place, I invite you to begin to imagine a comfortable and a peaceful place in your imagination. This could be some place that you've been before, somewhere you've read about, seen on TV or in a movie. It might be a beach, a field of wildflowers, your own home, or any place that offers you complete comfort, safety, and serenity. And that's okay if you find the mind flittering between a couple of places, or it doesn't exactly seem so clear. And also knowing that imagery can include all of your senses. So maybe you don't see it as clearly, but you can smell something, or you can feel something on your skin, or taste something pleasant in your mouth. So going to the place in your mind's eye and allowing it to become clear and to allowing it to reveal itself to you. Noticing the colors and the sounds. Noticing what the air feels like on the skin. Is it warm or cool? Or is there a breeze or humidity perhaps? What is the temperature like? Maybe even noticing what season it is. Noticing any smells around you. And then also noticing where you would most like to be as you enjoy this place that is here just for you. And knowing that you can bring in or take away anything to make this place feel just right. You could even imagine a beautiful, comfortable bed right in the middle of this field of wildflowers, or a soft couch positioned perfectly on the beach. Really making it your own and make it as comfortable as possible. As you lie here, or sit here, or walk on the sand to enjoy this place, just noticing what this couch, or this bed, or the sand feels like beneath you. Is it warm or cool? Soft, firm or coarse. And allow yourself to fully receive every gift this place has to offer. See if you can breathe it into your whole being, your body, your mind, your emotions, your spirit. Continuing to notice the colors and sounds, the smells, all the feels. And also noticing as you look out at this peaceful, safe, beautiful place, how does it feel to be here right now in this moment? And allowing yourself to fully receive this feeling. Again, breathing it into your whole body, your mind, your spirit. And noticing how your body responds. And knowing that this is your time and place to do and to be however you'd like. That you can follow any impulses to explore, that you can connect more deeply with any animal or other people that might be in this place. Or you can simply just lie or sit and relax and be, knowing that there is nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do, but simply be here in this safe and comfortable place, receiving all of its gifts and benefits. And allow yourself to experience fully the soothing, restful qualities of this special place. Repeating the word peace in your mind several times as you enjoy just a few more moments of quiet and peace and comfort. And breathing in deeply and enjoy the feeling of relaxation and comfort, knowing that you can return to this place anytime you wish to relax and replenish. Knowing that you can return anytime you like, gently coming back to the room, bringing yourself back, feeling once again the body, the points of contact between the body and the chair or the floor, whatever surface is beneath. As you start to become more aware of yourself as you're sitting or lying down, maybe bringing in a little bit of movement as you might wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, maybe taking a stretch as you start to reawaken, connected to this space, connected to this virtual community. And slowly, as you're ready, allowing your eyes to open as we gently bring this meditation to a close. And from here, we'll move into our closing for this evening with Dr. Moss.
Thank you, Shannon. And thank you to each of our meditation guides this evening. And yes, thank you for the candles. Okay, this was billed as a midterm meditation circle. And those words struck me when I saw them because we are all midterm. And we're midterm in the middle of a semester. We're in the middle of courses. We're in the middle of teaching. We're in the middle of taking classes. We're in the middle of our lives. And yet we're taking a moment together to find a stillness within ourselves. And I decided to take you back in time in my life a long way to my high school years, where I had just a handful of heroes. And one of my heroes was a man named Dag Hammarskjöld. Some of you may know the name and others may never even have heard of him. But when I was in high school, he was very famous. He was a Swedish economist and diplomat, and he was the second Secretary General to lead the UN. He led it from 1953 to 1961, and even now, he was the youngest man who ever had that leadership. And he died in 1961 when his airplane was shot down over the Congo. He was on a peacekeeping mission, and it's thought that he was actually shot down rather than just a crash. But he was an interesting man because he was a man of action. He felt that connection that Cliff talked about, that connection with all of humanity. He accomplished a great deal in a short life, and yet he was also an inward person. He studied Meister Eckhart and others of the mystics. And I'm going to use some of his words for our closing meditation. I invite each of you now to once again go into a place of stillness within yourself, breathing slowly and gently. If you're comfortable, close your eyes, and if not, enjoy the candles on the screen. And these are some words from Dag Hammarskjöld's book, Markings, published after his death. And he wrote, "In the point of rest, at the center of our being, we encounter a world where all things are at rest in the same way. All things are at rest in the same way. Then a tree becomes a mystery, a cloud becomes a revelation. We see each man as a cosmos of whose riches we can only catch glimpses. The life of simplicity is simple, but it opens to us a book in which we never get beyond the first syllable. And we can follow these words of Dag Hammarskjöld, and we can go in this moment to that place of rest at the center of our being. And we can allow ourselves there to encounter a world where all things are at rest and the entire world is unveiled as full of mystery. And when we return in the morning to our classes, to Canvas, to OneDrive, to students, to instructors, to deadlines, we can always remember how easy it is to find a moment somewhere, a moment of stillness, and to go to the center of our being where all things are at rest, and to rediscover the mysteries everywhere around us. And now continue at your place of rest for just a couple more minutes. We are in the midst of our lives, and yet we have taken the time and we've made a place in our lives to come together, to leave the busyness of the everyday routines, to come together and to go to that still place at the center of our being. And each of our guides has shown us different aspects of the path to that still point of rest through our bodies, through imagery, through breathing in and breathing out, moving our wrists, moving our elbows. Doug Hammarskjöld also wrote, "In our age, the road to holiness necessarily passes through the world of action." And each of you has dedicated yourself to a life of action. Teaching, studying, writing, all of those tasks that you take on, counseling, many of you. And I hope that you can take with you tomorrow and in the days to come memories, glimpses of that mystery at the heart of our world. And now, just a last 30 seconds or so, breathing slowly, breathing gently, saving up your experiences of this hour. And now stretch, and we rejoin the circle.
Thank you, Don. I want to remind everybody that the video recordings from tonight and other meditation circles, moments, yoga are on our self-care channel on YouTube. And the Saybrook website also has a collection of podcasts of the mindful moments, which can also be found on Spotify. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you each.